going to talk about the disciple, the apostle, the leaders, and the servant of God who have been willing to die for the sake of the gospel, to die for the sake of preaching the good news to the nation, to die for the sake of standing firm in faith in the midst of the challenges, opposition, persecution, and even execution. And in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, you will see that we call it is the home of heroes. It is a home of faith. And today, in this home of faith, beside the disciples, the apostles, the early church leader, and the leaders throughout the ages who stood for their faith and being buried, being executed, being spared, being killed. And on this week, there's also another name being added into this hall of faith, the name of Charlie Kirk. And what are the things that we can learn from this Hebrew chapter 11? First of all, we are going to learn about their faith. First of all, they have the extraordinary faith and courage. All of the people who was martyred, who stood up for their faith, are the testimonies of great faith and courage. The faith that they trust in the living God. And Hebrew, in the book of Hebrews chapter 11, 32 said, "And what more shall I say? I do not have time to tell about Gideon, Barak, Samson, and Jephthah, and about David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith," all of them are being mentioned because of their faith in God. And what can this faith does or do in their life? How can this faith help them to overcome their situation and become listed in the lists or the hall of fame, the hall of faith, the hall of heroes? Their faith helped them to conquer kingdoms. Their faith helped them to administer justice. Their faith will help them gain what was promised. Their faith will shut even the mouths of lions. Their faith will continue to quench the fury of the flames. Their faith will help them to escape the edge of the sword. Their faith will help them and turn their weakness into strength. Their faith